Beautiful Florida. See your cruise coming in. Miami life, baby. Woo, 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 woo. Without this, no that. Welcome back to Rebuild It with PG, and today we want to show you guys a little bit about markings when the engineer flies up the swing stage and mark. Like over here you can see we're on the 25th level. This is the kind of things that we send notification, like they supposed to clear out the balcony, take all these things out. Obviously these people, they didn't comply with it, but you can see how we shut the doors for safety. So those, they cannot come out to the balcony. Here you can see the markings. What happened with this marking is the engineer sounds the concrete, and where he hears hollow area, he will mark the area. We will remove the stucco and identify if there's any rebar spalling. Most of the time that's the case, but in some time it can also be just stucco delaminating. On this project, we're supposed to remove all the tiles and do a waterproofing system. If you move down this way a little bit, some of the chip area that we had found from the marking of the area. We over here on the 25th floor, but if you look up, this is a 46 storage building. So we're gonna continue going down, and we'll be stopping as we need it. All right, over here we can see Wilkin preparing the piece of wood to actually shut down. The sliding glass door will be shut from people coming out of the apartment. We can also see here on the roof of this balcony, this is the alarming things that have been happening in this property. You can see that piece of stucco over here, it fell off on his own. That's what the engineer starts seeing, those kind of stuff. That's a red flag. It's stucco, but it could actually hurt somebody pretty bad. So this is one of the things that was alarming. You can see on the tiles too, those tiles that are marked right there, the engineer actually sound the tiles, and you can see it says remove all. So this slab right here actually has a lot of hollow area and lift corner. So it's a very good possibility that the rebar has been exposed to the elements and started the process of expanding. We can also see from up here all the debris, how it's being piled up on that side of the lanai deck. They call this the lanai deck here. Bro, you know, I went to the building department. I spoke with unsafe structure over there about. Okay. Bro, you know that when they submitted to do the repair of the wall, they submitted to remove the whole perimeter and build it back new and everything like that. When I showed them about the L's that they use, and the guy was like, "We will never approve something like that," you know. Yeah, so that really created a really red flag to these guys. See this one? We removed this topping from this side. This is all between 5 to 3 inches to the drain. A topping slab over the structure slab. And this portion over here, we can see how it got removed completely. You can still see the debris under the swing stage. So on this side, we're actually right on the structure slab. All the topping got removed. That area is over living space. These two areas here, they're over parking spaces on the 9th floor of the garage. We are at this deck right here is actually the 11th floor. ¿Qué le quiere agregar? What you want to talk about? I think we should go eat, and then let's go have lunch and come back.
Oh, talk about this stuff? You can see here the demolition that we've done, but the biggest problem is when we start going into the balconies, you're right up against that sliding glass door. Even though it may be impact, most of these are, You can still get chips to the door, you can get damage to the frame around it, things of that nature. Normally, you would set up a window film, right? And they have different qualities of window film. You have a 30-day, 45, you have a 90, a 60. The rating is because since it's assumed that it's exterior, the UV rays are constantly beating on it, the film actually starts to degrade and melt, and when you try to remove it, it basically leaves a bunch of glue and residue on the glass. But recently, we've discovered the use of a different material, something that's called Scudo Glass Advance. And you can see that we've actually applied it here. It's slightly bluish tint, but it's practically clear. And once this thing dries, it dries as a film. It's actually rated for a year, and it peels off beautifully. So we've also applied it to all of the railings that were currently worked on, and it almost gives like a frosted privacy glass. Because we had a previous building, the tenants were not happy with the blue window film. And I'll tell you, I was inside one of those units. It bathes your entire apartment in blue, in this like depressing color. It feels very claustrophobic. This building's a little weird. You can see right there, these windows here off to the side and some on the other side, they actually lead to the bathroom. And they're not privacy windows, they're not frosted from the manufacturer. Luckily, we can apply this directly onto the outside, and now you have a privacy screen for your bathroom windows, right? So you don't have people looking in when you're working up and down. There is only one restriction. If you ever use it, and most materials like this, you cannot apply it directly to acrylic. So like old style windows and doors have acrylic frames because they will chemically bond, and you won't be able to pull it out without peeling off the paint.
Oh, and another thing, Rafi, that we had with the blue film, after a while, most of the time they get detached from the corners with the wind. And sometimes we get calls and say, hey, can you remove that because we can't sleep at night because the wind black,
yeah,
get on the corner, so the flapping is
That's the thing with the blue window film. So when you apply, you know, anytime you apply, you always have little pockets of air. You're not gonna take your time to smooth it out very carefully. This is a job where time matters. So you have to quickly apply this film on there, put some taper on it, but especially if you have wide windows, you'll have overlaps on the film, and wind gets into those overlaps, gets in those little pockets of air, pulls it out. This is applied as a liquid. There's no air trapped in it. You can see there's no pockets of air here. There's nowhere where the wind can go in and start ripping this out. And like Julio said, at night especially, if you got a loose flap, it's just smacking the glass. Oh, at night.
With headphones.
Yeah, and you can't sleep. It's annoying. If you go look out that way, the building's right up against the street. So, and the wind's blowing from the beach. So if you have window film that's loose, flies off, it could fly in front of a car, in front of a windshield, cause an accident. You know, best case scenario, it's a nuisance with having blue plastic film flying off that way. Worst case scenario, you'll cause an accident.
I think that's a great product.
It's worked out great for us. We like it. We tested it out in another building, and we're using it full force.
And a lot of time, it's like you say, a lot of time with the time, especially how long we're going to be in the project, we had to be coming back and forward to replace and to change. And
if you don't want your standard window film after, even if it's a 60-day film, and we may be on these balconies for over 4 months. Yeah. If it's a 60-day film, you have to replace it twice.
So
right? Or at least once. And then if anything peels off, you have to replace it anyway. So the cost savings you get from the basic materials, you spend it in labor and additional materials having to replace the entire film. Yep. This is one and done, so long as you're here for a year or under. On the single drop, we're not going to be on any of these for a year.
That's not the case here.
I think we can knock down every single balcony and still be here for less than a year on every single drop.
All right. Yeah. I think that's good, right, for now.
It's coming out nice.